What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Motors and another vehicle highlight. As you can see back there, we've got a storm brewing, but over here we've got deals and we've got vehicles. So let's get into this next highlight that we've got going on for today. I'm actually filming quite a bit of these because we got quite a bit of inventory. We're always getting new inventory and we've got a lot to offer to you lately. So let us jump into this Infiniti EX 35, the 2010 model year. Let's get it. So looking at this SUV, you can definitely see that this is the more upscale version of the Nissan SUVs of that time, Nissan and Infiniti, or sister companies much like Toyota and Lexus. And you can definitely see where the upscale comes in, whether it's the exterior lines and how fluid and elegant that looks, to the interior that we're jumping into shortly, and the types of bulbs that are into the headlights. Right here we've got the more high visibility type of headlights that you do not normally get for everything in that model year. This is just one of those first iterations, one of the first types of vehicles to get into these headlights right here. A lot more bright, a lot more crisp at night. So all of those little details, they definitely matter, from the styling to the actual functionalities, and I can't wait to get into them today. So let's jump into those details now, from the buttons that will unlock with your fob to the push button start, things like puddle lights. These SUVs were designed a lot more elegantly. When you open up the door and take a look inside, you can see that everything was definitely crafted for that upscale, luxurious feel. From the Infiniti embroidered into the seats, to the way that the seats are upholstered, the big thick bolsters, and the leather appointed details that you've got from the seating to the dash, you definitely see that Infiniti were going for a really nice vibe with everything that's going on. The lines on the interior here are also very fluid. They're also like very kind of upscale, cohesive. Everything is just pulled together with a touch of class, from that analog watch style clock to the way the cluster of all of the controls are configured up here on the dash and by the infotainment center, so to speak. We've also got a Bose speaker system, a sunroof, and a host of other little luxuries that make this vehicle stand out. So jumping in, we are also looking at the little details as well. This is the control panel for the driver's side door and window area. We've got the pedals, the hood pop, and the parking brake right here in the usual spot. So this is not a button parking brake, but it's still nevertheless fairly comfortable and convenient to get to. Moving on to everything up here, you can see that we've got our trip computer. We've got the little brightness controls for the display. We've got the OBD reader and the hood pop right here. The controls to the steering wheel, all of that, it's already in the most upright position because I am tall. We've got our wipers, our steering wheel controls, and then we've got everything else kind of all around. So let's dive into that now. Very nice clean crank, as you can see, push to start. We've got a hybrid digital and analog cluster, and I've got the AC going full blast because it is quite hot. Looking at the infotainment system, we can see that it has a navigation, and we've got this beautifully kind of configured cluster of instruments right here, of these little buttons and controls. This can be used to zoom the map, and then we can also go into the settings and information for everything else. We've got everything from weather to navigation, fuel economy and traffic, and then we've got the settings that go into Bluetooth, audio, display, and everything else. So we've got actually quite a bit of the infotainment system out here for the 2010 model year, which wasn't a lot at the time. So all of this being included, including this kind of toggle friendly navigation map, really speaks to the quality that Nissan and Infiniti, because these are sister companies, were putting into these more higher end vehicles. The instruments and like the buttons don't feel too crowded, despite being numerous. they are still pretty intuitive, and it's really nice and easy to go through everything and control it all. This steering wheel feels nice and ergonomic and luxurious as well with that leather wrap. The double stitching on a lot of these things is also a very nice touch. We also do have a backup camera, and not only do we have a backup camera, we've got a 360 backup camera that shows us the other like sides. This is where that camera is down here, so you can kind of, you won't be able to see my hand very well on there, but that is underneath that mirror, and the other one's underneath the other mirror, so it will be able to see to the side of your vehicle when you are backing up and parking, which is incredibly handy, especially if you're in the city and you've got to park into a tight space. The climate control over here is centralized, but it is really intuitive and it's really easy to operate, so there's not a ton of things going on. It's a good quality kind of system that blows really with really good power, which is really nice when it's hot and you feel like you're in an air fryer, so always a plus there. You've got a little tiny compartment and an outlet on this side. Your cup holders are hidden right here, and your center console is at the push of a button. I just kind of like resting my stuff out here when I'm filming, but we've also got quite a generous glove box. So up front, whether it's the design or it's actually the amenities, you definitely feel like you're in a higher end car that's very comfortable and easy to operate. And I think that that's just great for not only just the model year, but in general the driving experience. You don't feel like you're driving something overly complicated or overly dated. It just feels overall very nice from start to finish. All right, y'all, let's jump into the back seat real quick and kind of show you what we're working with here. This has stayed in very good condition. Everything is really pretty, no major wear on that leather. And then we've got this armrest type situation going here. When you pull it down, cup holders included. It almost feels like limousine seating, excuse me, and it's just very, very nice to kind of look at and to sit in. It is a little bit less leg room than some other vehicles in that size category when the seats are pushed all the way back, but even myself being 5'10", I can still fit back here with that in mind. The latch system is down here. It is not indicated by those little knobs as clearly because the those little buttons right here are a little bit on the lighter side, but you can still definitely see where the latch system is, and it's very easily accessible for those of you installing cars. Not a lot of storage space over here, but that is a small price to pay for something that's just a very nice upscale feel overall, and is fairly comfortable in the upholstery and configuration. As on many vehicles, the child locks are here. They are manual and they can be done at the click of a switch. Finally, welcome to the trunk space. We've got a good amount of trunk space for the size of the vehicle. It is not huge, but it is definitely fairly easy to utilize. Nice flat area. We've got some more storage down here to the side, the ability to install a cargo shade, and power folding seat buttons right here, which is a really nice touch. In our utility compartment, you can see we've got the full accoutrement for changing out the tire, and a part of that Bose system back here as well. Everything is very neatly packed, not overly dusty, and very well kept, which is really great, especially considering that this is a 15-year-old vehicle for that 2010 model year, filling this in 2025. The tailgate is not a power tailgate, but it is incredibly easy to put up and down with the actuators, making it one fluid motion that does not require force. All right, y'all, thank you so much for jumping into this 2010 Infiniti EX35 with me today. This concludes this vehicle highlight. From the exterior design to the interior amenities, this is definitely a great vehicle for the model year in terms of both style and comfort. It's a really interesting vehicle to come across. I don't get a ton of these here, and it's definitely a cool thing to drive. So if you'd like to test drive this or any of our other vehicles, head on over to 1011 Old Cedar Grove Road here in Moody, Alabama, off of I-20 exit 144, or head on over to SteelCityMotors.com if you're not there already and explore our entire inventory. Y'all have been awesome. We'll see you on the next one.